Musical artist Demi Lovato faced some backlash over the weekend because of her comments made toward a Los Angeles frozen yogurt shop. So Lovato made several posts on her Instagram account accusing the shop for being, quote, diet culture vultures. She even used that hashtag. So here's what happened. So she visited the Big Chill in Los Angeles. That's the frozen yogurt shop in question here. And she was triggered by their promotion of sugar-free cookies and other diet foods. Now, Lovato has been very open about her body image struggles and issues. And I think it's important for her to be open about that. I think there's a lot of courage that comes along with doing it. But in response to the Big Chill promoting its sugar-free cookies and other diet foods, Lovato wrote the hashtag diet culture vultures, which she used to call out companies and brands that perpetuate a society that not only enables but praises disordered eating. And she also said, I'm very outspoken about the things that I believe in. I understand that sometimes my messaging can lose its meaning when I get emotional. I'm human. The Big Chill responded by saying, we are not diet vultures. We cater to all of our customers' needs for the past 36 years. We're sorry you found this offensive. So keep in mind that there are, of course, diabetics who can't consume sugar. So sugar-free options are usually made for people who have diabetes. And so there's that component to it. But, I'm curious what you think, Francesca. Like, should these types of companies be a little more careful in their marketing, considering that those struggling with body image issues could be triggered by how they message about their products?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. I think I wanted to, as I dug into this story, because I know we're gonna talk about Jamila Jamil's response to it, is that actually, when it comes to diabetes, apparently sugar-free options are terrible for people with diabetes because they have a bunch of sugar supplements and replacements that apparently are also not good for diabetics. So they might not have the same, they might have the same impact. So I don't know, and I feel like folks maybe in members might know more. Those who have diabetes might know more, but like apparently it's like not even a good option for diabetics. So I think when I first saw this, I thought, man, why? It feels like a very Demi Lovato thing, having a bad day, trying to get some ice cream and frozen yogurt, and then was like, just decided to get mad about a little sign that said sugar-free cookies or something like that. And it felt like, okay, you're trying to take down a local like frozen yogurt shop, why? And then seeing that so many people responded to her and got mad at her about that, I was like, okay, this is too much. Like, I think internet outrage, first of all, everyone loves to be outraged on the internet. It's the place we go to just, it's our pillow that we go and yell into and scream into. So it's just so hard for someone who's got such a big profile to say literally anything without getting hounded. Do I think that it was of that big of a deal that there was like some sugar-free cookies on market? No.
Yeah.
Do I think it's good to draw, like what I would have done is, hey, just wanna like a shout out to all the like local businesses in LA, love them. As a reminder, maybe put different language around your different food options, like as someone who's struggled with, like body image issues and like health issues, anorexia, bulimia, whatever your particular struggle, like just make it vague. Don't go after a particular, store. What do you think?
I think a lot of things that I don't know how people are going to take it, but I'm going to be honest. So, first of all, if they're selling sugar-free items, then they need to let people know, hey, these are our sugar-free items. I don't think there's anything wrong with that language at all. There is some language in marketing that I think is problematic. So it's important to be specific about those things. So for instance, sometimes when they market diet foods, and I'm talking generally, I'm not talking about a specific business, but when they market diet foods, they'll refer to it as guiltless. And so what it's implying is if you're not eating diet foods, you're just eating normal food that isn't like, sugar-free or whatever, cutting calories, then you should feel guilty about it. And it's like, I don't like it, but I also, And look, I grew up doing ballet. So believe me, I had like my dance instructor put me on a diet at 4 years old. So I know what it's like to have body image issues. I know how difficult it is. And it stays with you for the rest of your life. Like I think about my physical appearance every single day. And it's really hard to kind of break out of that cycle because body image stuff surrounds you all day, every day. And it also, by the way, doesn't help when viewers of the show respond to me gaining a little bit of weight by asking if I'm pregnant. Please don't do that. No, not pregnant. Not pregnant. Anyway, but that's beside the point. I think what I'm having an issue with though, and I've had this issue in other contexts, it's when someone is going through something or someone finds certain communication or behavior objectionable. And since they find it objectionable, they want to represent like what all other people in that category feel, right? So there was a lot of that with the Me Too era. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm married now, luckily. I don't have to deal with like navigating, dating and all that stuff. But if I were single and if I were dating, no, I don't want the guy I'm dating to ask me permission every single time he's gonna lay a hand on me. Like, I find that super unattractive and I would not be turned on by that. Obviously I would be communicative if I'm uncomfortable with something, but just because some women want consent at every step of the way, like verbal communicated consent, doesn't mean that all women feel that way, right? Like, and I also like some elements of traditional masculinity. It's just my preference, right? So I also get super uncomfortable when there are women who are like, it's all toxic masculinity. No, I kind of like some of it, and I don't think that some of it is toxic. I think some of it is just a guy, being
standing in front of a girl. What's the line? A guy standing in front of the girl, asking her to please go through the door that he has held open for her.
I like that. I like that stuff. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, I lived in Latin America for a good chunk of time, and I enjoy that. But it didn't mean it came along with like any more rights for women. So that was the problem. But you're definitely right that like there's a little bit of a one size fits all when it comes to approaches to whether it's like our reaction to diet culture or yes, our reaction, our ideas of feminism. And whenever you sort of top down graft that onto others is when it starts to be not okay. And yeah, this felt, look, there's a donut shop a block away from my house. Every day I pass it and I think I need a donut, and then I like, don't look. And there's a sign on the outside that says, get this, every day is cheat day with this eat of cheat, EAT. And you're just like, yes, it is. It's so hard, but it's like a reclaiming. You're like, yeah, every day is cheat day. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any sugar-free options or fat-free options in that place. And, but there are donut holes, so you can always eat a little bit less. And so that's good.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
It is hard. And I think that like a lot of the communication about health is kind of skewed and like this, that actually ends up being super counterproductive, right? So that's why I don't like the guiltless messaging, because no, you shouldn't feel guilty about anything you eat. Like what we need to be comfortable with is communicating moderation. So like, I don't like the no carb diet. I don't like the nothing but red meat diet that like Jordan Peterson's daughter is doing. Like I think it's weird and it's probably not healthy. Like everything in moderation, right? A well-balanced diet, and don't feel guilty when you let yourself have a little nibble here and there on something sweet. Because I know personally, whenever I've tried to deny myself a certain food group, usually sugar, I'll do it for a day, and then the next day I'm binging on sugar like you wouldn't believe, right? And that's just not healthy. Like we shouldn't think of food that way. But to get to Jamila Jamila Jamil's comment here. She says, if an eating disorder advocate says she sees products that are positioned as guilt-free and it is potentially triggering, that doesn't mean she's too stupid to remember that diabetics exist. It just means that we need to change the marketing of products that are for people's medical needs. And she continues to say she's just one of a few celebrities reminding us to look out for mental illness. Guilt-free is diet culture terminology, and we need to stop using that effing term. So yeah, I agree with her on guilt-free, but sugar-free items are sugar-free items. I don't know how else you would market that really.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I guess it'd be like marketing something for celiacs as like carb-free rather than gluten-free. You know, so there's like that fine line of like, yeah, just call it gluten-free versus, carb-free or some crap. But yeah, look, welcome to capitalism. We will do literally anything, and especially women. There's a lot of money made on making you feel terrible about your body and how you look. But yeah, I feel like it's one of the things that we're changing. Jamila has been so, first of all, anything she says, I'm like, yes, I agree with her. Because that's how I feel about her. Every time I want to like not agree with her, I'm like, no, just what she said, because she's great. And she's been leading a lot of the charge on this, and it's a language thing. I think eventually we will get there where it's like, this is sugar-free, or this is, I don't know, calling it vegan instead of fat-free. I don't know. Instead, it's like that's a nice workaround. Yeah. Hey, it just doesn't have animal fat in it, kind of thing. Which, by the way, sugar-free stuff, once again, not actually better for you. There's a lot of other crap in there. There's stuff that is synthetic that should not be in there and leads to other problems. So I think a lot of health experts have generally said, not like quack health experts, but actual health experts have been like, no, fat is good, but just in moderation, not a lot of it. It's actually really good for you. And sugar is actually, natural sugar is totally good for you.
Is it? Is that true?
It's not good for you, but it's fine for you. It's not as evil as the entire industry of like fat-free and sugar-free foods in the 80s made it out to be. And like all the other things like aspartame or whatever the hell else, like other things that are supplemental actually have been known to lead to like other diseases, like things that are bad for you. So anyway, essentially sugar in moderation, fat in moderation, totally fine.
Yeah, in fact, aspartame opens up your appetite and makes you hungrier. So for those who like drink diet sodas with aspartame in it, just know that you might be doing something counterproductive. It might actually make you hungrier. And that obviously doesn't help if you're trying to get down to a healthy weight. But anyway, super interesting story. And I think we're mostly in agreement on it. But I was gonna ask you guys to share what you think, but we don't have a poll on it, so we're just gonna move on.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.